What's up, y'all? This is the Thug Lord Tupac. Be sure to check out Westside Radio.
Check it out, y'all. We back at it once again. Julio G, Westside Radio. I got Oxnard in the house. Young Quicks is in here with us today. I'm a fan of your music, man, and I'm glad you hit me up because you were on my roster to put in.
Oh, gee, don't say that, man, because this is a big deal to me. I've been telling everybody back home. I've been telling my barber. I've been telling my homies. Everybody, hey, you guys don't know what I'm doing. You know, I'm about to go meet with a living legend,
yeah,
man.
thank you for coming, man. I'm glad you reached out, though, seriously, because you were on my list.
Thank you.
Because I've been keeping up on you, you know, over the years, and you know, stuff that pops up, and I just see Young Quicks, he's there doing it. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
And I love that Oxnard song you got too. You should be very proud of that record because it's a nice representation of Oxnard. But Quicks, thank you for coming. I have to ask you. I always ask people when I do Westside Radio. I'm always interested in the name Young Quicks. Why did you choose that for your name?
Man, the story is that I don't know how it was for the generation now, but my generation when we were in high school, instead of rioting and fighting, we used to rap battle. So say the Mexicans against the African Americans or the whites, whoever, or the Asians, but it was like your race against another race. I used to kind of cheat, OG. I used to, in PE and stuff, I used to try to memorize my lines. And I was the youngest in the class because I was born at the end of the year. So I just got my name from memorizing my lines the quickest and from being the youngest.
Oh, really?
Quicks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was either Young Quicks or Nest Quick. So I said, let's stay with Young Quicks, man.
Let me ask you, Quicks, how did you get into hip hop? I mean, are you originally from Oxnard?
Yeah, I'm born and raised from Oxnard. My parents are from Michoacan, a little town called Santiago Tangamandapio. That's actually famous for, I don't know if you know Chavo del Ocho.
Oh, of course.
Jaimito el Cartero used to rep it. So they have a statue of him and everything, you know, back home. Yeah, but I was born and raised in Oxnard, and at that time when I was a kid, there was artists doing it, you know, there was artists doing it. So I think what made me get into it was seeing other people do it. And I remember going to a Kmart. I don't know if people ever mentioned this artist, but I'm going to mention him right here on Westside Radio. Yeah. There was an artist, his name was Little Tweety, I believe. And I remember picking the CD up and I said, well, he looks like kind of like me, like as far as like he was Mexican, you know? Yeah. And I said, well, if he could do it, guess what? I could do it. Yeah. You know, so that's kind of just from seeing other people like him and Locura Terminal back home and down aka Kilo, Lin Cacholo, they were actually doing it in my city. I said, oh, I could do it too. Yeah.
There's a lot of good people that came out of Oxnard too. Yeah. Down and what is my man Anderson Paak?
Anderson Paak right now, he's doing it big.
Doing it super big.
Yeah,
doing it super big. When you started like writing, you remember the first thing you wrote or you know, because I will tell you, listening to your music, I can tell that you're into writing. That's what I was curious about. How did that come about? Because I can tell when I hear rappers real quick.
I was honestly from being broke. Being broke, the fact that computers were out, technology was out, but we couldn't afford it as a family.
Yeah.
So it made me write. So I would just grab notebooks, and I started with poetry.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So there's something of writing.
Yeah, poetry.
I can tell when you're rapping. Yeah. I just, like I said, I've been listening to hip hop so long. I can listen to a rapper and I can tell, oh, this person has some writing background before poetry. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I read that Tupac book, The Rose That Grew from Concrete. Okay. And from reading that, I said, oh, I could write my own poems, you know, and and I kind of just took it from there. And my first fans were girls that I would talk to on the phone and start reading them poems and stuff.
And that transferred into
music,
into making
music. You know, we started getting older, and we obviously needed a computer for school and stuff. My parents had to hustle, and I used it to create music. You know,
how did you get like people to work with you being in Oxnard? Because that's not like a hip hop spot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or is there a scene there?
Well, there was. At that time, when I was a teenager, there was a Spanish rap group called Locura Terminal. I mention them all the time. Yeah. I mention them in my Oxnard song. They used to have a band wrapped around, and me and my homies used to chase it with a scooter just to get a free poster or free CD.
Really?
So we knew it was real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So honestly, they were the first ones when I was like 15 years old, and I started doing homemade burn CDs. They kind of discovered me. They took me to the studio and were like, oh, man, you got something, you know? It wasn't the best what I gave them. It was home recorded, but they saw something there. And so from them noticing me, from me chasing them in a scooter and noticing me, I said, okay, I got something.
Have you always been like independent? You just did this on your own?
Yeah. Me and my business partner, Hood Space Music, we've been rolling together for like 12 years already. Yeah.
Wow, man. How is the independent game? Like, you know, because right now it's like, you know, you can get signed to a label, but it's not always the best thing for a lot of people. What I notice, especially now, it kind of hurts certain people because they hold you down. Then I see a lot of people that are doing it independent, and it seems it might not be the biggest thing, but the freedom of it is you get to allow to put music out, and you have put a nice catalog of music out. You've been working.
Thanks to my partner and Hood Space Music, and allowing me to get creative and live my dream. Because honestly, I've always worked like that. Like, you know, I got a new project out, but if I could be honest, I have another project already in the cut. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's always how I work. I've always worked like that. And my catalog is probably, I don't even know how many records I have, honestly. Like, if you would ask me right now how many records you got, I would just say like hundreds.
Yeah,
hundreds.
you do. You have a lot of music out. That's what I noticed. And I was like, and that's what I noticed about artists when I look them up or something. I just like, I pay attention to the years and I understand the consistency because it is about consistency when you're independent.
Yeah, but it's just not, you know, obviously you don't get like the big old billboards, the big old lights, the red carpets. But as far as like, I've been able to live my dream up to this day, you know what I'm saying? So like, I can't really complain.
And what's really cool, the progression is what I've seen. I think your best work is your later work right now. I think you really, you feel it, right? I noticed that you simplified it a little bit. Your writing feels more free, not too wordy either. Just you found like the groove of it. Can you explain that? Because you know that's what happens with rappers. They start one way, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, I didn't have to do all that. It's actually flyer when I do it like this, right?"
Yeah. Well, I think at first you try to prove a point. You know that I'm the dopest, I'm the best, and then I you know, obviously as you grow and you start getting in different circles and meeting new people, you're like, "Oh man, I could just be myself, and I could just the way I talk, people could gravitate to that." You know, so now I treat music. Well, it's a job, you know, it's a job, obviously, but like I don't overthink it. If I do have like, say I'm listening to a beat and I don't like it, I might voice it, but it comes naturally to me. Like this is all I know how to do. So to me, it's just like an easy process now because now I don't have to overthink like, oh, I got something to prove. I feel like I've been here long enough. I've survived long enough. You know, obviously I'm meeting all my heroes, everybody that I looked up listening to. Like, obviously I got something right. I just got to keep going, you know?
How do you work on an album? Because like I said, you have a lot of projects out. So how do you go about the process of it? Or is it different?
Well, I don't think we really do that. We just work. Like
so you just keep recording.
Yeah, we went to El Cajon like 3 weeks ago, and I was there for 3 days, and I did like 12 records in 3 days. So now I'm like, oh, I got a whole new project if I really want to put it together.
And how do you find producers and all that? Do you have like a
we have kind of a team. I mean, it's a teamwork. You know, obviously the FINGAZZ project, it was fully produced by FINGAZZ. So that one, it was just me and him going to the studio, doing everything from scratch. He would make the beats in front of me. He would tell me what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like you were mentioning the Oxnard song and telling me you love that Oxnard song. Like that wasn't my idea, G. Besides my music, I'm kind of known for my Christmas and community work back home.
Okay.
And an artist called Sad Boy Loco from Santa Barbara, he happened to go. And I guess he felt some type of way about how it went down. And he was like telling me he was proud of me. And he said, how about you do something positive like your Christmas event, but into a song? So the next time I went to FINGAZZ while we were working on this project that had no release date, no title, we were just working. I told him, hey, Sad Boy Loco gave me this idea. He said, all right, let's give it a try.
Talk to me about working with FINGAZZ because he's done some incredible work. He's just like one of those people that like those names that you don't really know like that. You know it if you know it.
If you know it,
right? But the people that do know what he does, right?
Yeah.
He does incredible work. I've always been a fan of his for a long time. So, but how did you guys get together to start working?
When I was a kid, man, when I was rolling with Lin La Cholo, he actually introduced me to him. So I just started building and obviously, you know, working. And as I kept going, he kept seeing me. And he actually tells me, hey, Quicks, you're one of the most consistent artists I see, so let's do it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And that's big for me because when I was in high school, a lot of the records produced, at least in my hometown or in my area, in Ventura County, like 75% of the records on the radio, guess what they said? Put fingers on the track. Every time I would turn on the radio, it said put fingers on the track. So as a teenager growing up, in my brain, I was like, oh, I need to work with him.
And it's a really good album. You have some really good songs on there. I was very impressed by it. But I expected that with him because he's a really, really good producer.
I think he makes you be an artist. Like not just rapper, he makes you be.
He gives you songs because they're like made songs. You know what I mean? Like very well produced. You know what I mean? And then you rock on them. You know what I mean? You get busy on it. You know what I mean? I want to ask you about the Spanish and English thing because you're very good at doing that too.
Thank you.
And I remember when we first started with Mellow Mayonnaise, he's the guy that kind of
he's the originator.
So I understand that, but when I hear other people do it, you know, I think some people get it off, some people okay with it, but you get it off really good. The way you marry it into the wording, you know what I mean? It's really good how you do it. What got you into that?
Well, probably artists like him, Kid Frost, you know, Mellow Mayonnaise.
Some people are scared to do it though.
Say, you remember Pitbull?
Oh yeah, of course.
He was rapping.
Oh yeah,
rapping before all this pop stuff.
Yeah,
and in Spanish and English. So I think I don't even want to say. I mean, Daddy Yankee. He's a reggaeton artist.
Yeah.
But when he came out with like the Somos de Calle and all this stuff, like I was like, man, like you could rap in both languages and you could still be on MTV and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it was just the fact that other people have done it before, but also to prove a point too. Like, hey, I can rap not only in English though.
Yeah, yeah.
I can rap in 2 languages.
Yeah.
Look, and I'm gonna make it sound like I didn't even switch languages. Did you notice? You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, that's what I mean by it.
so that's kind of like just to prove a point. But you know, you mentioned Mellow Man Ace, man, and I posted it the other day. Like, he said that I was one of the best to do that, and to me, that's a big old deal.
Yeah.
That's
And that's what I felt when I heard it. When I heard you do some songs,
Thank
I was
you,
like,
man.
damn, the way he marries it into, it's not easy to do that, the Spanglish style. You can do it, but like I said, it has to be a certain way. You can't go over Spanish and
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Too over English.
Yeah,
You got to
yeah.
find like the medium in it. But the way you marry it going from English to Spanish and back to English, you just have it really down. I just love how you did it.
I'm still trying to perfect it. When people ask me about it, but I'm still trying to get better at it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's levels to everything, you know?
And you do straight Spanish songs too.
I have a whole album in Spanish.
I
I
heard
have
that.
Diablo, I have Gramático, I have Kid Frost on it. You know what I'm saying? And it's all in Spanish.
Yeah, yeah.
All in Spanish.
And how did that work for you? Is that gotten you out there like in the Spanish countries?
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm looking at your plaques and I'm admiring all your work because like that's really my ultimate goal. I would like to get my own platinum plaque, but not too long ago I received one for a feature that I did for an artist in Mexico. I got my first Spotify plaque.
Really?
So I was happy about it because it got
Wow.
like millions of streams and it's from Secan. He raps in Spanish. So yeah, I would say it's opened doors for me, you know, like it got me in different markets and I'm pretty sure fans that probably didn't even know I existed, you know?
Yeah. And is it more difficult? Because it seems,
yeah.
it is, right?
Yeah.
How do you work around that? Because like, you know, the dialect in Spanish is just, I don't know, it's not easy to rhyme like that. You have to have a certain kind of Spanish that you know. You have to know the words.
I will say this, OG, my parents don't know English.
Okay.
So maybe that has something to do with it.
So you're because you've been speaking Spanish the whole
I've been
time.
speaking Spanish. Like I think my first language you would have to ask me, I don't remember, but it was probably Spanish.
Yeah, that was mine too.
You know what I'm saying?
Too. My mom didn't speak English like that, so I only spoke Spanish at home growing up. So I totally understand when
so I think
that.
you know, like certain people like us probably have that, you know.
Yeah, and then when you grow up with your parents, you learn more of a proper Spanish because they're older.
Yeah, they call you out.
Yeah,
to this day. Oh no, así no se dice.
Yeah. Oh, my mom was heavy on that. Quicks, you said you were doing a concert. You got some concert coming up, huh?
Yes. This Sunday in Long Beach, I'll be performing downtown. It's called Party on Pine. I'm sure if it's out by now, I could announce it. Warren G's headlining.
Okay.
And I'm going right before and so it's pretty cool because you know I was telling you off air that I've been building with the Catalyst brand for like 2 years and they helped me out, man. Not only with my music, like now that I dropped the new album, they have like 36 stores.
Okay.
So they let me put a poster at all of them. I've been going, me and my buddies been going, putting in all the groundwork. And I just wanted to give them a shout out, Catalyst, because they do help me even in my Christmas events. They help me bless the kids and stuff. And I did just drop a video for my new album, History Repeats. I want to give a shout out to Oxnard High School, which is back home. They allowed me to use their facility, their cafeteria, their classrooms. The principal was there on a Sunday opening the classrooms for me. So that's a big deal for me because
I seen that. Yeah.
They don't need to do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And like even you welcoming me here, like it means everything to me because it's motivation for me to keep going.
Oh no,
so thank you.
Absolutely. No, and I did see that video pop up.
Yeah. I just dropped it on Monday, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it out there.
Yeah, no doubt. How do you set all these things up? You know, you have a cool crew of people.
Yeah, well, my team, we actually over the holidays last year, we ended up signing a distribution deal with Foundation Media, and we did a routine where I was turning in a record and a video every month. So I did that for the first 6 months. Then I turned in the album, and now we're doing basically based on our numbers. We're shooting like the next one I think that I do is going to be the one with Sad Boy Loco because we got it picked up on a new market in Bakersfield. A new station picked it up. My hometown's playing it, and Sad Boy's from the 805. So we're like, man, let's just do it. I was
going to ask you that also. How does your hometown treat you, and how does it work? And what's like how do you get to the hip hop in Oxnard? Like, what's the radio station out there?
I'm gonna give a major shout out, DJ Mambo, man. If anybody wants an opportunity and you got a real product, you got something good going on, reach out to DJ Mambo. I've known him for at least 15 years, and he's always welcomed the door to me anywhere he's worked at. You know, so that's why I value him so much. And the station is Q95.9.
Okay,
Q95.9 FM. But Oxnard, as far as how they treat me, I guess it depends who you ask. Like in person, it's love everywhere I go. People, you know, even in bonds, people ask me for a photo or tell me, hey, man, thank you for what you do for the community. You know, obviously they see me with the mayor and the awards that I've gotten before. So people will be like, congrats. And I'm like, man, I'm just getting agua, you know?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. But then like I was telling my buddy Anthony on the way, like there's the bad side too. Like not as far as in person, but like on the internet. Like I see like there's meme pages.
Yeah.
You know, there's meme pages and then there's like full pages from Oxnard. And I will say this, like I see like they never supported me, never shared anything good that I've done. But as soon as they feel that I did a little hiccup, they're posting
the negative,
But it's people that I don't know, people that I never see in the streets, people that don't even post a picture. Does that know what I'm saying? So I guess it depends who you ask. But as far as my personal experience and everywhere I go, man,
it's all love.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about that also. I noticed in your music that you always do talk about the youth, that you want to inspire the youth. You know, where does that come from?
I was that kid. Okay. I was that kid. You know, like.
Because you don't gangbang rap.
Nah, I don't. That's not what you do. I never gangbang, so why?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But you don't do like all the street raps and all. You don't do all that. You do like
more like getting money, more hustling. Yeah, for sure, and, you know.
Sure. But you inspired. You say you inspired.
I was from the projects. You know, I was born and raised in the projects. I would say, you know, for the most part, you know, and there was people like Fernando Vargas, professional boxer champ, that he didn't have no personal relationship with us, but at least on the holidays or something, he would pull up to the projects and bless us.
Oh wow.
And I don't know if he knew at that moment what he was doing, but look at what came out of it. At least for me, you know,
it made you want to give that. You understand the feeling.
Yeah, I understand. Like, hey, man, even if I'm just doing something so small, showing up.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Giving him a little carrito.
Yeah, that means something.
You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm like, okay, as soon as I made some money, I didn't start this like people have. I've been on the news and newspaper and all that because of me trying to give back now, but I've been trying since 2013. Like I could go back and show you pictures of me going to the projects where I grew up at with 50 toys, with the chubby homie dressed as Santa, trying to do it, you know, but just nobody paid attention.
Yeah.
Nobody cared. But now that I'm getting bigger and I'm growing, you know, obviously, but I tell people, I learned it from people like Fernando Vargas and my mom taking me to the food pantries to get a birthday cake. And that's all I remember.
I want to ask you, Young Quicks, how do you get over the humps in the game? Because a lot of people don't know that there's a lot of lumps and humps. And it's a cold game, you know what I mean?
Game,
and it could get, you can kind of get in your own head about it, you know what I mean? And I see some people that it really takes them out of the game, and then I see people that persevere and they just keep going and they keep going and they keep going and they crack it.
And that's kind of what the route I'm trying to go. Keep going to like crack it. I mean, I don't know the code. I don't. If there's a blueprint, I haven't found it. You know, because if there was, I'm pretty sure we were all millionaires and stuff. But I would just say the fact that I believe in myself, more importantly, and the fact that I have people like my business partner, people like McDonald's, people like Mambo, my hometown station, my high school teacher that's still a teacher at the high school where I go back and I give back every year. The fact that I have them, my buddy Bones that was able to get opportunity at the soccer game, the people that I have people like that, and they kind of don't give up on me. It doesn't allow me to give up on myself.
Yeah.
Like if I feel any pressure, it's because I feel like I can't let them know.
Yeah.
My family and them.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And obviously I believe in God a lot too, and I don't think God will put me through something that I wouldn't get through, you know?
No, I believe you got a gift though. You got something. Yeah. Like I said, in this last album, when I heard it, the one with FINGAZZ, I heard like 3 or 4 radio records. And because I worked on the radio and I said to myself, I said, damn, this Quicks got some songs like this.
And I just wanted to make good music because I don't know if people noticed, but I dropped the album in the middle of all this chaos, of all this rage and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember even telling him, do we delay it? And I was like, but I'm an artist. I've never been involved in stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just make music, what I think is good music.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be judged just for the music.
Yeah.
You know?
But you do represent for Mexicans.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I do dig that too. Like you're very, you represent being Mexican. And I think that's very important. You know what I mean?
Thank you, man. I try because, I go to Mexico sometimes, RP to my grandma, but I've gone over there and people like, sometimes they tell me that I'm the, how can I say, el orgullo del pueblo.
Oh, okay.
Like the pride of the town.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, that's what I mean by the pressure is like, I feel like I don't know everybody that's watching me, but I feel like there might be a kid right there that's watching me and be like, he hasn't given up. So, I could live my dream. Like, look at him. He's still going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's just the fact that I think of my brain thinks like that. I'm like, I got to keep going.
Yeah. I also want to ask you quick, it seems like hip hop's going through its tough time right now, but Latino hip hop is doing great. Like, it seems like it's out there more than I've ever seen it right now. You know what I mean? Do you feel the love amongst it, or is it just everybody's out for self?
I think everybody's still out for themselves.
Okay.
For the most part.
It's not more unity. Like, let's
no,
work
because
together.
I feel like as soon as one of us gets an opportunity, and I'm saying us, I'm speaking as a collective, we look for any flaw.
just to bring you down.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm not, without mentioning no names, anybody that you can think of, any Mexican American rapper that you can think of that has had a good opportunity. We look for any flaw, whether they're from this gang or whether they're like, we look for any excuse to be like, nah, that's not the best representation of us.
Yeah.
You know, but is there a good like a perfect representation for us? You know what I'm saying?
And it's kind of weird. I just feel like on the way up they like it, and then when you get too far up, it's like, nah, you're not real enough. No.
Yeah.
Or there's something like, is there some kind of flaw?
You
did something in the 6th grade.
Yeah.
That they pull something out. You're like, yo, bro, like, let him cook, man. Let him make his music. You know?
Yeah, that's what I was telling my buddy on the way. I was like, man, sometimes I wish I could get canceled, and they'll be like, hey, Quicks, you're canceled, so I don't have to feel this pressure. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to do nothing then. I'm good. I could just focus on something else.
Yeah,
you know?
How do you get through that? Because it's hard with the comments and all that.
I take the good with the bad.
Okay.
I take the good with the bad. I see it all. I try to acknowledge everything, even if it's negative, because like obviously that whoever it was took the time to you know, leave a comment. You know, I know me personally, I don't go out my way to leave negative comments on nothing.
Yeah,
on nothing. I might troll here and there, make you laugh, but I won't say nothing negative. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I know how I move. You know, but the thing that bothers me more is when I see other things go viral, and I'm like, that's all I had to do to go viral. Look at me. I'm putting in work. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm at the Dodger Stadium. I walked out of Boxer. I came out over here. And I'm still waking up every day looking for opportunity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what I think a lot of artists get mixed up too. They're like, oh, man, I don't care if it's good or bad. I'm getting 1 million views. Bro, but that doesn't mean you're selling 1 million records.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? True. I'd rather focus on my 30,000 fans that I have. Yeah. But at least if I drop a CD at $10 a pop, they're all buying it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what I tell people when they're independent. Your concept is to create enough people to rock with you, and whoever else don't, fine. But if you have, I'll give you a good example, like Psycho Realm.
Yeah.
Like I've toured with them all overseas and done things with them with Be Real in Cyprus and stuff. We've done stuff together, you know. When I've seen them go out in places and like the whole front is all Psycho Realm shirts. And so I was like, damn. I said, damn, Jack got like a built-in fan base.
Yeah.
That you may not think that, but he's probably touring right now as we speak.
In Europe or somewhere.
Right? Because he has a built-in fan base. A lot of it has to do with his merch, music and the merch, because people love, you know, the logo. Yeah, the logo, the gas mask, the thing is very popular. You know what I mean? So that's why I say when an independent, a lot of people don't understand that you don't have to have millions and millions.
Yeah.
If you have 50,000 hardcore fans,
you're straight.
You in the paint, right? as long as you got, you know, the product and you're, you know, you're putting things out. I want to ask you about the collabs because you've collabed with a lot of different people. Somebody that you haven't collabed with yet that you'd like to.
As far as like Latino rappers and stuff, I mean, I would like to do as long as they're alive, all of them, you know. But I've done Mellow Mayonnaise, the OG Kid Frost, the Baby Bash, even the Chicano rap like Brown Boy and Sad Boy Loco. But like honestly, like I tell my partner all the time, like I would like to do one with like a Fat Joe or a Pitbull, even a Daddy Yankee.
Oh wow!
Just as far as the Latinos, you know, Latinos. But I'm a hip hop fan, you know. I got a record produced by Eric Sermon, so to me that was a big deal too.
Wow,
that was a big deal because, you know, he's produced Mary J. Blige and Method Man, Redman,
EPMD, bro.
And like for him to notice a Mexican kid from Oxnard, you know, like. That's pretty big. So
how did that happen?
From Instagram.
Really?
Instagram. He said, I don't know how I found you. He asked me for my phone number. And I started texting my OG homies. I said, hey man, is this the real him? They're like, yeah, man, that's him. That's a legend. And they were like, well, he's asking me for our phone number. I said, give it to him. I think I asked Big Tank at that time. And yeah, he called me and he said, I don't know how I found you. He said, but you got something. And you know, from there, like I got 2 records produced by him. One's in the cut.
Wow.
One's in the cut. One's already out.
Wow.
And the one that I have in the cut features an artist from New York. I would say both his names. You probably know him. He's an Italian rapper. He's this white kid that's been going viral. That he's been going viral since he was 13. His name is Little D, but now he goes by Danny James. And I ended up putting him on the Eric Sermon record.
Wow, that must have been great to work with Eric Sermon.
It's pretty dope.
Let me ask you, Quicks. What project has been your favorite project? You have a lot of them, so.
I mean, my best work I think is the FINGAZZ one. But as far as like
why do you think that was your best work?
Because everything was done from scratch.
Oh, from
even
scratch,
the beats. Like usually I go and they tell me like, oh, this is your beat selection, and I just listen to them and I write it. With FINGAZZ, it was like, what do you want to do? What are you feeling today? Boom. So you know, like literally he would make the beat and I'll write it right there in front of him. And with FINGAZZ, like he makes me spit it before I go in there, and if he don't like it, he makes you redo it. So I like that. I don't. I'm the type that can take criticism. That's why I say, like, I wish people would have tougher skin, because I'm very, like, straightforward and very vocal. Like, I'll tell you, like, hey, man, I don't like that beat. I don't like that beat, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll still do it.
Yeah.
But I'm just vocal.
I was just talking to somebody about that, and we were talking about there's some artists that can't take it sometimes when people say, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, can you write it over?
Yeah.
And there's some artists that are like, okay.
Yeah.
And they'll write it over 5 times.
Yeah.
And then until you find what you think it is, you know what I mean? And where did you get that concept from, understanding that type of understanding?
Well, I think because I was going back to the early days, I was always the youngest around. So like, I always felt like I wouldn't speak unless spoken to. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I would just sit, watch, observe, and then they would tell me, hey, Quicks, what you think about this? Then I would give my input.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think the fact that I would kind of be around them and have to basically prove myself to them I was 15, 16, around 30-year-olds. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, so I would basically have to show them, and then to a point where I was like, okay, I'm confident enough to write my own.
Get busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tight, man. And so let's talk about the project you have out now and what you got coming, because I want to promote that. The album that you have, because like I said, you have a few things out.
Yeah.
So you've been dropping, you know.
Yeah,
But the FINGAZZ album that you did, that's the latest one.
The FINGAZZ, the 13 songs by FINGAZZ, History Repeats, that's the project. It just dropped.
Okay.
That's the one that I've been working on for like 7+ years, man. You know, but I've been busy the whole time. You know, I've dropped projects, I've dropped singles. You know, the only thing that did happen for me from that album was that Oxnard took on a life of its own. I ended up posting it on Instagram. I texted my partner. I said, hey, I know the song's not ready, but we did this community event with McDonald's, and I told him, I think it fits perfect. Let's see what it does. Tell me why I posted it. I ended up getting like 250,000 views.
Okay.
I'm not even lying to you.
Wow.
And then Mambo called me. And he said, what's up with that record? I told him it's not ready. It's not mixed and mastered. I remember texting FINGAZZ, and he's busy. He does cake pop. He does so much. FINGAZZ is busy too, you know?
Yeah.
So long story short, they played the rough version for like a month. They sped up everything. The album wasn't supposed to come out, OG, until we felt ready.
Right. But you
the Oxnard thing sped everything up, so I had to speed it. It took me a year to get the album out, but I got it out, you know? So 13 records. Oxnard is my single. Obviously I got the record with Bash, you know. But
I think that's a great record, bro. I think that's something you need to push.
Yeah, you're the second person that tells me that.
You need to push that record. I think that's the one. You have a couple on there though.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, a couple.
I like the classic one. You heard the classic one?
Yeah.
Brownwood?
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah. But I think the Baby Bash one is the one you need to rock with. That's really good.
Thank you.
I want to ask you about Sad Boy Local, because you have worked with him. What's your relationship with him? Because
he's known me since I was like 17.
Oh, so
and our relationship is that I tell people his brother used to produce records for me when I was younger. Like his brother is a dope producer.
Okay.
Is a dope producer, and that's kind of how I invited him. I think one time to a video shoot, to my Don't Stank video shoot. He showed up with his homies, and then my business partner keeps a close relationship with them. So it was a matter of time, you know. This is like. Is it my second or third? I think it's my second record out with them. Yeah, but I have records with them, you know. And
that's what I mean. I like that though, because you guys are from the same area, so that's what you want to see. I don't know why people don't do that. It's like you're supposed to collab with your people that you're around. You know?
I will say this: Sad Boy is one of the few. Like I told you, he gave me the idea of Oxnard. I'm telling you, he's one of the few that gives people advice, but he told me I'm one of the few that listens. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess he gives game to a lot of artists, and they don't listen. Yeah. And I just, like I told you, I mean, he's a little older than me, like, and I've always been the type to respect people.
Yeah.
You know, like, especially if you're where you've done what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like your brother, I respect him so highly. You know,
he's out there doing it, man. You can't take nothing from him.
Yeah.
He's been out there getting it in.
Yeah, no, he's been around Frost. He's been around like similar circles, you know. So I just, to me, it's like a matter of time, you know. Like it's just a matter of time, and it happened. It happened.
What is something you're listening to right now? Like
Key Glock. That's what I told you. I listen to Key Glock. I like Key Glock because he's not really like, I don't know if he gangbangs. But he's always talking about getting money and hustling, and I wake up to get money. And he's not talking about really killing and stuff. And you know what I'm saying? And it's just motivating. You know, I'll be like, oh, you know,
I think that's a little overdone in music right now.
Yeah, right.
Too much killing.
Yeah,
like, let's get some money, man.
Yeah, right.
Let's get some money, bro.
That's what Eric Sermon said. He said, hey, all the BS is going out, and we got to bring it back.
It is. Yeah, I think people are kind of burned on it now, and they need a fresh fresh, something fresh. You know what I mean? Something fresh and new. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now I wake up trying to hustle every day, so I don't know what people are doing. You know.
Well, man, I want to thank you for coming, man. I really appreciate it. I'm glad to sit down with you, man. Like I said, I've been checking out your music over the years, and right when you hit me up, I was like, "Oh, Quicks, perfect."
Yeah, no, I even texted your brother. I said, hey, I'm gonna go see him, man. And I told him that I hope to see him too, because when I was around Kid Frost and stuff, I got to go through the Hennessy Lounge and all that stuff. Yeah. So I feel like it's just a matter of time, because history repeats, like my album says. And I always tell your brother, like, hey, I think we could do it. We could get one. So yeah, no, I'm crossing my fingers, man.
Tony G's a legend, that's for sure, man.
For sure, both of you.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, thank you, Quicks. And just real quick, how can they find you if they're looking for you?
At Young Quicks, man. Everything's spelled normal. And actually, if you want to listen to my album for free, no commercials, nothing, go to my website, theofficialyoungquicks.com or youngquicks.com, whatever's easier to remember, and you'll find everything: music videos, bio, pictures, everything.
See, man, I like how you have everything put together. You're like your own label, bro. You're like doing your own thing. That's what
me and him.
You guys are doing a great job, man. You're doing a great job, man. Well, thank you for coming, Quicks. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, and appreciate you. And hopefully I'm back soon, man.
Oh, for sure, man. And like I said, much success with this new album, man. Make sure you guys go get it and go check it out. Young Quicks is in the house representing Oxnard. Yeah, that's right.
Westside Radio.
That's right. We'll be back at it again, man. Westside Radio. You know what it is.
We brought the hood to the West Side. Westside Radio.